Okay, so where were we? Once again, just a bit of progress to go. Um, I think we're getting there. It's got a little ways to go, but every little bit counts. Every little step, every forward movement. That deploy took longer than expected for work, so I'm not going to get much done here, obviously, but I will continue to push forward. So this is, I don't expect to get a lot done this next time. I do got to start planning what do you call it? Evening coming to an end here. That's because I gotta get up, start planning on trying to get some exercise in. I got a little extra time today, not much, but a little that I can apply simply because tonight is daylight savings, which around here is a thing. I suppose if you're in Arizona, probably not quite as much of a thing, but or if you're in some other country where they don't recognize daylight savings, but so each little bit going forward here, I kind of left my palette open over the last hour or two. I was hoping to get back here like working within 40 minutes or so of the time I stopped, but that plan went out the window. Went and got some food, came back to do the meeting, and wham! That meeting went on and on and on. Yeah, it took way longer than I expected it to. So, as a result, here I am just trying to get a little bit more work in before I hit the hay. This guy's gonna take a while. He's gonna he's gonna challenge my contest piece I did for effort. Just because these eyes are gonna take some time, but I expect I'll continue to make progress, and before long, hopefully, we'll start seeing the fruits of those labors. I mean, even as it is, the eyes are starting to look a little bit more. What should we say? Eyesy? Is eyesy a thing? Um, what I'm doing right now is actually I'm taking away a couple of these lines I put into the eyes. I think I may have gotten carried away. I feel like they were a bit much. I probably didn't need. Well, I'm not taking them away. I'm kind of removing them, covering them up with a higher pigment color, so that as the other ones fade down, these ones will probably mostly disappear. And that's just because I need to said I want a few less of the veininess in the eyes. I don't mind it. I don't mind the veininess. Obviously, I actually like it, but I don't want it to be quite so much. You know, the eyes need to have a little less going on in them. So I may have to put more orange on my palette though, because I'm definitely running out. I just got done watching the first season of One Punch Man. I had that going in the background while the meeting was going on because I wasn't really involved in the meeting. I was just kind of watching and trying to learn a little bit, but there was times when I didn't have anything I could really watch because they didn't have it going and they were just talking about things that I didn't really said wasn't my thing. They weren't really talking to me at all. So sometimes meetings go like that. So I just have to distract myself as keep my brain functional. I'm trying to actually remove the lines that I think are more sloppy. If I'm going to pick a line, at least I could do is take the ones out that don't need to be there. That aren't as, I don't know, aren't as liney. aren't as good. Maybe too thick, maybe too sloppy. And like I said, I'm not really removing them so much as covering them up. Ever so bit. No, I probably don't even need to be using this to cover them because it's all right. I'm not going for precision lines like I was when I put those on. Just going to cover them up and make them as good as I can. But I do need more orange. And I should probably take a little bit more of this. Actually put it on here. There we go. Just making my orange lid more orange. I think whatever primer I had underneath was shining through it too much. Orange is a little bit like yellow in a lot of cases. It lets a lot of the undercolor through. Even though this is a higher pigment one, I'm going to need to get so I'm trying to get this to be a pretty intense red in the middle. And then I got to start going over that. And I'm going to actually put the black over the top of that, which will be solid black. And then I start going over with yellow again, which I bring as I bring it away from the center. That's going to be all interesting. I don't know how that's going to go. I know most. I don't even know who's going on out there. Who's the active gamers going on at this time of night, right? It's getting kind of late. I need to go back to my orange for a second. Like I said, I'm trying to remove a couple of the lines I created. I was thinking I wanted more lines, but I think in Ultimates, as I've looked at my sample picture, I'm thinking I actually want less lines, not more. It's just for the good of the model. 4 is a bit much. This one's only got 3. Just taking away ones that look like they're just a bit too much for what I'm doing. It's actually quite a few of them. I think I probably like needed them like every quarter of much or less. I put them on, it seems like every 8th. Probably should have only had like 4 or 5 on here, not as many as I've got. I've got like 7 or 8 on each one. That's a bit much. So anyway, One Punch Man, by the way, supposedly kills everything in one punch. Not so much. Well, not when he fights the big bad. He actually put up a fight. And then it ended with him fighting some other monster and he beat him in one punch. He's like, oh man, I'm back to one punch. The challenge is gone. He was actually happy to have a real challenge for once. Guy actually could take his punches multiple times. Multiple times he took his punches. They had a lot of back and forth, but of course, he's Superman. Hey, Savinicus, how you doing, man? What bird? What bird are you talking about? What? Did I get a bird? I'm sure you're going to remind me, right? Bird. Okay, I was saying I wanted to get a bird. I'm trying to remember the context. What were you talking about? Refresh my memory. I mean, I probably did say it. I'm not saying I didn't. I'm just saying I don't remember the context. Maybe if you can tell me that much, I'll be like, oh yeah. Now I remember. I did buy some minis, by the way. I just haven't gotten them yet. Oh, bird! See, that's what I. That context. You mean like the bird on my shoulder, my green cheek? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't got a bird yet. Yeah. Things between me and Anne these last couple of days. We've kind of had a little tiff. I haven't talked to her all day. She yeah, we kind of have issues every now and then, and we need to work that out. But so yeah, I don't think getting a bird right about now would be the best response to that. So yeah, well, I really do want to get one though. I think it'd be cool to be doing my thing and having a bird around. But no, I don't know when that's gonna happen, man. I want to say I could defy my wife, but I don't know that I could. Exactly. Well, I've already asked permission though. See, it's not forgiveness versus permission. I've already been not given permission. So yeah, it's a little different. It's like it'll be like, I told you no. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get her on board at least enough that she's like an unwilling participant, an unwilling, even if even if ultimately it's just her saying, oh, whatever, giving in just enough for me to see a little bit of window. But I probably won't do it if she don't at least give me a tiny crack in the window. I don't want there to be entirety of meltdowns at the house here. We gotta having enough trouble keeping the peace here. So how are things over there? I saw you posted something. Something. What did you post the other day? I saw you had something. I didn't see the post exactly, but I saw your name come up, and you were something about surgery or something like that. My favorite pizza place sending me coupons, man. Tempting. All right, it's time to get some more red on my. I'm gonna have to get my red, and I may have to. Where is like? Here we go. Oh my gosh, $4,000 for a guinea pig surgery, dude. For a guinea pig? What? That guinea pig probably cost you what? $75? That's that's like a 10,000 times investment. I don't know. All right, maybe not 10,000 times, but it's like that's crazy talk. I don't know, man. I feel bad for Reva. I mean, she doesn't have any surgeries coming up. She hasn't been feeling good lately. I can tell. The doctors haven't been able to figure out what exactly is why she's got issues walking and stuff. I mean, she doesn't do it all the time, but they don't know what exactly is going on because we tell them and they're like, well, we don't see anything wrong. And I'm like, well, there's something wrong. And every now and then she just kind of stumbles or falls, and it's like, that's not good. But I can't imagine $4,000, dude. And they've got a lifespan of what? 9 years, 8 years, and what? How long have you had it? I don't know that I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm being kind of mean, but I mean, it's a guinea pig. I know. I don't know. You guys must really like your guinea pig. That's all I gotta say. Your guinea pig love is very high. I don't know that I don't know that I could say our guinea. I don't know. I mean, I've told Anna I don't know that we could afford if there was a major surgery or something we had to do to help. one of our dogs, I don't know that we could afford it. I mean, I just don't think we have that kind of resources to pay that kind of money for a dog surgery. 8 or more. That's just not very long, man. That's like, I mean, our dogs have longer lifespans than that, and I don't know. Well, I mean, the important thing is that it's it makes for a happier family, right? If everybody in your family's like, we gotta do this, then you gotta do it. I mean, it's kind of like it's what makes everybody happy. But that's rough. That's rough, man. I'm feeling for you. Not only for your sad situation, but for the challenges that provides. You've had it for 2. You can live for 8. So you got about 6 more years. Hopefully these. I mean, the fact that you could even get. I didn't even know they did guinea pig surgeries. I mean, it just seems like. I mean, what was the problem again? What is it you had to do? That this guinea pig, so had so many issues. Abscess in his jaw. What is that? I mean, what was the prognosis if he didn't fix the abscess? It's like he wasn't going to make it very long. He wasn't going to be able to eat. What was the problem? I mean, what was the ultimate, the catalyst is saying, all right, let's do the surgery. Oh, well, yeah. And I guess that's definitely a serious problem. So it was just significant pain. He couldn't eat. It was just too much. Yeah, it's definitely sad, man. That's not cool. Darn animals, they make you get all attached to them, and then they have problems. And you're like, darn it, I gotta fix you now. It's kind of like my fear with our dogs. I'm like, I kind of like my dogs. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I hate the idea of going into debt to fix them. But I don't know. Right now, we don't even know what the problem is with our dogs. So it's like, well, it's nothing to fix, but doesn't mean I don't fear the possibility. This guy's gonna take forever. What was your guinea pig's name? Hmm, did that wrong. Baguette. Baguette, huh? Like bread. Called him long skinny bread. Long skinny dry bread. that's that's his name. Oh, when you put it that way. When I keep blending these eyeballs out, I have no idea which eyeball I last painted. It's like, which one did I do? It's because I'm trying to find the one that's most in need of more color. Pigo, he named him Baguette. Really? That's the name he. Where did he get that name from? What were you guys eating Italian that night? I mean, what was the? I mean, it doesn't seem like the kind of name a boy would come up with for an animal. I'm trying to figure out what his motivation was. Just out of nowhere, he goes, "Baguette." That's it. Like, oh, okay, baguette it is. Sure. That's what you're going with. White and brown. Oh yeah, that's pretty classic. That's pretty classic guinea pig colors there. White and brown. Oh, it's getting so late, man. I know tonight's daylight savings, but probably still shouldn't push my luck. I really, I do still have to get up in the morning and go to church. We're going to Canyon Hills Church lately. You guys ought to come check it out with us sometime. Canyon Hills is probably whoa. Canyon Hills is a lot closer to you than Maltby was. Dude, what the heck, man? The guy's eyeballs hit the table and all the paint scraped off on some spots. Just a couple of little areas, but still, it's like, what the heck? Got like 15 layers on here. How's it getting scraped off? Definitely gonna have to put some varnish on this guy when he's done. I'm actually painting this for my son for a Christmas present. Now I know he never watches this thing, so I'm not worried about him hearing me. But he actually asked. He says, "I wouldn't mind a beholder painted for me." I just kind of nodded. I'm like, okay. And I've always like avoided painting beholders because everybody paints beholders. They're like the thing, right? Beholders are cool, so that's why everybody paints them. But it's like I don't do it because it's like, well, you can go online and look up like go to a miniature site, and you'll probably see a beholder in the first 10, 10 posts you see of guys painting stuff. Yeah, yeah. Seems like they're pretty. Kata likes to stay home a lot. I noticed that. You know, Anne would wish when you come over and stuff. I know she wishes Kata would come by with you. She really likes Kata. She'd like to see her more often, but it's just hard. I know she's got her other friends and stuff, and that's part of it. But still, taking care of kids is a hard task, though. I mean, we've been there, so we definitely understand the challenges. Trying to trying to keep trying to get a kid, to follow, getting them into routines and stuff. So it's definitely a valid reason. It's just makes it hard. Early parenthood is definitely challenging. I know. You know. What was I going to say? I was going to say. You've mentioned before about bringing Benji to game night, uh, and I noticed you haven't actually done it. You said, "Yeah, me and Benji will probably show up, but then you show up." I mean, it's okay. Not saying, not saying you can't be there, but I'm just. Does he change his mind and go, "Yeah, I'll stay home"? I mean, yes, he's got video games that are like, I think I'll play video games instead. Well, it's good that she at least gets out to go to the YMCA. I mean, something better than nothing. At least she's not staying home and just, you know, vegging out. It's good that she gets out. I mean, obviously she's got her job, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta make time for yourself, right? It's too much if you don't. Burn yourself out. Get all stressed. Nobody wants to do that. Yeah, I mean, no, I get that. No, like I said, kids are, you know, it's hard. I mean, plus he's what? The idea is like the option is stay home, play video games, go hang out with a bunch of adults and play board games. Now, board games are fun, but kids eventually are like, well, hanging out with adults isn't all that sometimes, unless it's to play poker because they think they can win. But sometimes they can simply because kids are lucky. It's a natural thing for kids to be lucky. Believe me, I used to be crazy lucky. I used to do. Now, now I'm a better poker player than I am a lucky one. I used to be a more lucky player than I was a good one, and I could take like a little bit more chances. But now I'm good enough to know better, and I still don't win as much as I probably used to. Poker is one of those things that luck is good, but you need skill to actually make it anywhere, to win consistently as an adult, because adults don't get the same luck levels that kids just get because they're kids. I don't know what it is, but there comes a time when a person's going to have to face it, that if they're either skilled enough to play or they need to get out of the competition. It's not going to happen for some people. But yeah, I do remember you bringing him once. He seemed to have enjoy himself. So, but again, it's like I understand. And bringing kids, I mean, Benji wasn't too bad. He was able to pay attention and play the games. But some kids, it's like as a game group, we kind of, you got to have a good attention span to be able to play games. Got to be willing to focus. Got to be willing to pay attention, learn the rules. Some kids can't do that, which can make it less fun for the adults in the room. And sometimes that's why some adults don't like to have kids there. But Benji wasn't too bad. And Jeff's daughter, who comes around every now and then, she's actually pretty good too. She doesn't come that often. She's kind of young though, and she doesn't quite understand sportsmanship. So she does okay, but boy, she's loud, and she's loud when she's winning. It's like, okay, we get it. You're winning this game, but hello. She's got to get learning how to temper your enthusiasm a bit in acknowledgement of those you're playing with. And, kids in general got to understand that you don't want to be too boisterous about your excitement and winning against adults, because adults don't want to play with kids that are going to be really rubbing it in their face. it's a natural reaction. I mean, hey, that's I I understand a kid's enthusiasm myself. I think a lot of people it bothers them. Just that natural. If you ever were raised in a family where respecting your elders is a thing, people who have that mentality are like, I don't know if I want to play with this kid who doesn't know how to win. Kind of, it's not so bad that they know how to win. It's just knowing how to act when you win. But it's not that uncommon. My sons are that way too. Well, Caden, when he wins, he's like, oh, he's got. I mean, he's an adult now. He's a lot more. He understands how to be a little bit less overly enthused, but he's definitely got the confidence that goes with it. All right. Well, heck, my eyes are getting close to being usable on this guy. I haven't even gotten around to getting to his eyeballs, or his not his eyeballs, but his pupils and iris and all that stuff. Um, but I do need to hit the hay, I think. I keep saying that I tend to do that where I like say, all right, time to go to bed. But then I'm like, but one more thing. Oh, but I missed this and I need to do that. And but You got to start the ball, right? You say, I'm going to bed right now, ish. Ish. Once you get that ish going, you never know. You might actually get to bed at some point. Don't get the ish going, though. You have no chance. All right, let's do one more little layer on the front of the eye, the big eye, and then I think I'm gonna make that my point of stoppage. No, your son. No, Benji's been good. No, Benji, I don't think I've ever seen him have. He's a pretty good. He's a pretty good loser. He's a good winner. I mean, being a good loser is important, but being a good winner is just as important. And being able to win and or have a good game, even if you don't win, but you're winning at some point, and you're just, you don't. Benji is not too bad. No, I was just saying. But actually, he might be just as young, if not younger, than Jeff's daughter. But I remember Benji was pretty good. I'm just saying, not all kids are. That's all. That's the thing. That's why Benji's. People don't mind having Benji playing because he's pretty good about how he plays. Whether he wins or not, he knows how to be. He knows how to act around. Well, not just adults, just about anybody. People say that it's about being good around adults, but really, you got to be good around everybody. Doesn't matter who it is. Adults need to be good around adults. And trust me, there's plenty of bad winner adults too. Bad losers are kind of common. I mean, some people just have a hard time losing, but I have more trouble with bad winners almost. I feel I can sympathize with a bad loser. I do not at all like bad winners. Bad winners, I can't sympathize with them. I don't understand why they would act that way. It's like, okay, you won, we get it, but I think most of the people in our group are pretty good about about being winners or when they win, for the most part, except for those me and Brian when we're talking trash to each other, but we don't get that. I don't think we get too bad out of it. And then you got to know that some people just don't deal with it well, or you don't. If there's people that lose all the time, you don't usually talk trash to them, right? Because you don't want to make them feel worse. Yeah, I think the important thing is that everybody just has fun and plays their best game. The one thing I think that if there's anything in gaming that bothers me, it's when people just play like they don't care and they just purposely help other people win, or they play kingmaker. They don't play the game with an intent to win. Or they'll do something at the end of the game like, I can't win, so I'm going to help this person win. I'm like, why are you doing that? That's not cool. Did you see the eye I'm trying to make? This is the eye I'm going to try to put on this guy. So you can see I'm putting the orange and the orange highlights around the outside of his eyes. That's what I'm going for. We'll see how that goes. It's like I'm not there yet, but got the base colors down. Next time I do this for any extended period of time, I'll probably be starting. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky to get, because basically you can see that it's got like a lot of yellow in it and orange, and it's I'm just putting the base color down, but then I have to do it's going to be hard because of the trickly effect, which I think is really cool, the kind of radiating outlook. The big eye, that'll probably be easier. I think what I'll probably end up doing is doing the whole eye, just like instead of just doing yellow lines around it, I'll probably just try to do lines out and then just have some of them go longer. I'll try that. It's hard with yellow too, because yellow is a color that you have to go over a lot. So you got to use a fine paintbrush, and you got to just keep doing it over and over until it's bright enough to stand out. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing. And then trying to get those colors in the middle, that little highlight, the iris surrounding it. Now the main eye acts like a normal eye because it's got eyelids. All the little eyes are going to be really hard because they have no eyelids. So I was looking at how an eye would actually look without eyelids. It's just like the ball of the eye. So I'm going to have to make it so that the iris is the full diamond, not just like you see there where it's just the bottom of the diamond. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to say the least. Hopefully it'll work. We'll know soon enough. Probably I'm hoping to paint some more tomorrow, but I got a lot going on, man. Got a lot of things I got to do. I got to get my my little sail thing going. I'm gonna do some X cases and stuff, or mage cages with LED lights, and I'm gonna offer them up like a sale thing. Hey, what do you think of my little graphic on my? See that little graphic above my shoulder on my picture? I have a different one for when I'm doing painting, and a different one for when I'm doing working out, and when I'm playing games. I have a different image. So every time I'm doing one of those things, I have a different one there. I'm thinking of putting those on a T-shirt and selling them like as merch. What do you think? Because a lot of streamers have merch, and I thought, well, I'm gonna try and create it. Yeah, I made it, kinda. Don't tell the artists in the world, but it's AI generated. It came out pretty cool. I It took me a long time to get the images I wanted, though. I was doing it for like 3 or 4 hours trying to generate images, and you keep changing the text and have it keep running and running and running and running. And it comes up with a lot of things that are kind of cool, but some things are just not right for what I'm looking for. So you keep changing the text and tweaking it, and I'm like, okay, well, that one's kind of cool. And as I saved that, so I saved a bunch of them, but it takes a while. AI generated images are really cool, but the artists in the world would be like, oh, you're making AI generated, you're making all of those artists out there putting them out of work. I'm like, well, I feel for them, but I can't afford to pay them. AI generated art is free, so I can do whatever I want with it. So sorry. It's like, what am I gonna do? I can't pay those people $700-800 to do an image, and it took me 4 or 5 hours to get the AI generated art made. You hire someone to do something like that, it could take them weeks, and they're gonna do one. They're gonna come back. What do you think? And you're gonna go, do this or that, and then they have to go do it again, and it takes them another week. And that's if they're motivated to keep trying, because so many times, I've worked with artists before, and a lot of times they're just flaky. Not all of them, but the ones, unless you're getting like a professional art studio. Yeah, it's just going to be a T-shirt with the image on it. I don't know. What do you think? I like low key images, like a regular shirt with just the image in the corner. And then there's the images where it takes up the whole shirt. I don't know. I would think maybe offer one of each. It's like that means I'd have to have 6 T-shirts. I'd have one with the low key image on it, and then one with the big image. And then I could see which ones sell. It really doesn't matter. They're easy to make, right? You just go on, you put the image on. They already have the T-shirts. You just say, put it on the T-shirt. People can, maybe you pick a few different color T-shirts. And then because they wear off. Yeah, screen printing ain't great. The best kind are needle threaded images, but those don't print very well. Not something with that much detail like that guy. So yeah, and then there's the kind, what do they call it? It's I don't know. It's like a spray. It's almost like a vinyl that they use, but those are more expensive to make. I don't know. Silk screen is okay. It's cool, but it washes off in time. Silk screening will kind of. I guess it depends on the material they use. Like like this one's got a heavy material, but even it's breaking down on what this is. This is a track T-shirt, and you can feel it's kind of a thick, heavy silk screening, but it's breaking down, and I haven't worn it a ton. And but this is better than like the vinyl kind. The vinyl kind breaks down really fast. It's kind of smooth. That's the one that's kind of smooth and it takes up the whole space and it's sweaty because it makes your chest sweat. Um, that's probably what something like these merch sites are doing. They probably just have like a print that just goes right over. It's you want the ones that are like this, but it all depends on the quality of the merch and what they're doing. But anyway, I think I have to sign off. I mean, I guess I need to get to bed so I can go get up and work out in the morning before church. And the only reason I'm going to bed this late is because I know I get an extra hour of sleep, but I'm about to lose all of that. Yeah, the vinyl thing is bad. What I'm going to probably do, what I'm thinking, I don't know, I'll probably look around. It'll start off as the one that goes to Stream Elements, but I might go find like, kind of do some research on who's doing good merch. I know Patreon does their own merch. Stream Elements does their own merch. There's a bunch of places you can do merch for streamers, but I don't know which ones are any good. I don't know anything about that, but I have heard that it's a good way to kind of get some, a little bit of revenue. But when you only have a little bit of viewers, it's a real little bit of revenue. Sell one T-shirt every 3 months. It's like, woohoo! I made $3. I don't know how much you make off these T-shirts even, because there's cost in making them. So I don't know what the amount you make, but you know, I have made money though since the beginning of January. I made $80. Now that'd be pretty good if it was like per month. Yeah, it's not going to make me rich ever, probably, but I wouldn't mind making if I could do like $100 a month. That would be pretty good. If I can get it up to the point where I was making $100 a month, because then I can like use it to buy like better equipment every so often, or I can upgrade some things that I need to upgrade that it wouldn't have to come out of my pocket all the time, or if I want to try new painting stuff, anything that helps me do what I do on stream better would be good. So if I was making 100 or so bucks a month, it would be a little bit better. Plus, if I could get that flowing a little bit more, like several $100 a month, that money could go towards. Yeah, it takes time, and you got to be willing to do a lot of side work. And I'm trying to do more. Spend time on it, put effort into the graphics and the stuff you're doing, and do extra things like while doing merch, but also doing little promotions, little extras. I was just saying earlier, I wanted to try to do um, a marathon. I've heard a few streamers have done marathons and got pretty good bumps and followers and stuff, um, but those are long. They're a lot of work, and I don't know if I want to do it, and I don't know if it would work. I think marathons work better as if you once. It's like you need a critical mass. You need to have a solid base of people before you start trying stuff like that. So if I like regularly had 10, 15, 20 people on, even just 10 people maybe, that can get you the ball rolling, right? But if you start like a marathon and you've got regularly one or two people who show up, that may not turn into more than one or two people throughout the entire time you're doing the marathon. But 10 people could potentially spread the word a little bit. They could get a few more people. They could go say, hey, this guy's doing a marathon where he's trying to do, maybe a little bit of charity in it, which would help. But you have some synergy, something that could help get that ball rolling while you're doing it. I've been known to be online for 2 or 3 hours and not a single person shows up. Okay, well, usually if it's more than 3 hours, people show up, one or two people. But it's still, if you do even a 10-hour marathon or a 12-hour marathon, I don't know that I'd get more than 5 people. I could, you know, you have to have something. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And I have both I'm restreaming right now. So you're on Twitch, but earlier I was talking to a guy who was on YouTube. I use Restream. So it what do I have? There's like a string or something underneath my pant leg. I just say, what the heck is this under my pant leg? Um, but no, it's I have both going, and that's another problem. Okay, when you use Restream, you can't set the category, you can't set the tags, you can't do anything for the service you're on. It doesn't set those. It'll only set the title and the description. That's all you can do. And then it also puts the little Restream tag on there that says, it's brought to you by Restream. Now that goes away if I paid Restream. Again, if I was making $100 a month, I could do that. I could pay like a service, maybe do a better service that might charge $30 a month. If I was making $30 a month to put towards it, I could do that. I don't want to pay for it right now because I'm not making that kind of money, and I don't want to be spending $30 a month on a service. But then I could maybe get like, I know there's a couple of services like um, even that work with OBS directly. There's Streamlabs, but everybody seems to hate Streamlabs. I feel like they're like the streamer enemy. A lot of people use it, but it's also like, it's like people hating government. It's like people just don't like it. The big, it's like you either hate Microsoft or you love them, that kind of thing. Restream or Streamlabs is one of those people that either is hated by a lot of streamers. Yeah, that's another thing that the good streamers, the ones that are doing anything. My best videos are ones that I actually created on the side. I have one video that's got like 7,000. No, I think it's probably getting close to 10,000 views now. And what it was it's a simple how-to of connecting Twitch to your Amazon Prime account. Because you could connect more than one account, and it's not obvious how. Most people can't figure it out. In fact, it seems like nobody can because it's very difficult to do unless you call Amazon. That's what I did. I called Amazon, found out how to do it, went through all the steps, got it working, and I did a video and put that up. And I get every few days, thank you, Sal, thank you, this is great. Nobody else does this. And so I did that. And so I've got that video out there. And then one of my other ones is I did a review of an application. And that one's got like, and those things got tons of views just in a few weeks. So those are the things that are YouTube gets the best things off of, are like reviews and how to's are the best way to do it. This kind of thing where I'm just socializing with people and painting online, or even playing games, unless you're the best gamer in the world with the most personality in the world. Uh, I'm not saying the best, but you have to be really good, and you have to be on all the time, and you just gotta. And even painting, the best guys who got any kind of following are like, they've been doing this for years, or they're doing lots of videos on YouTube, and their YouTube things are super popular. So yeah, I got to do more. Yeah, they stole. They basically blatantly stole functionality from uh, what was it from? Was it OBS or from some service? I think it was from. They basically stole something that other people are using, and didn't even try to make it look like they weren't copying it. They didn't give credit. They didn't do anything, and people got really ticked off with them. Now, the company that they took it from didn't really complain, but everybody knew it wasn't their idea, and yet they didn't even bother to give the company credit. So it was like people just got really ticked off. They just said that they were being very, I don't know, what is it, underhanded, dirty, or uncouth, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, they made enemies. And it wasn't a big deal to the company that they did it to, but it was a big deal to everybody out there. It's kind of like if everybody knew I did something cool and then Microsoft went and stole it, everybody would hate the heck out of Microsoft for doing it. Well, okay, if they knew I did it first, it's kind of like when a big company or a company out there who's already popular does something kind of underhanded to somebody who's smaller. The people in the world don't like it, and it makes sense. I get that line of thought. So I was using Streamlabs for a long time because it does make it easier. They put it already will build, they give you a lot of overlays and stuff that already work, and you can find some of that stuff online, but it's kind of a pain to put all that stuff into OBS and set it up. And it's, everybody out there's Streamlabs. So I do have a follow thing finally. I finally put alerts on for followers. Your Nightbot link in here. Wait, what? My link doesn't go where it's supposed to? Wow, that's the YouTube they gave me, but I will...
Here at Noble Knight Games, we've been carefully growing the world's largest selection of tabletop games going on 25 years now. From fresh-picked new releases to finely aged vintage classics.
Huh. I don't even know what that is. StreamYard tutorial. How to live stream like a... Huh. Well, how long has that been the case? Okay. I know it worked when I put it up, so I don't know what happened there. That's weird. I should probably fix that. Nobody ever told me what that. You're the first person to mention it. Because when I put it up, it worked, so I've just assumed it's always worked, but I don't know how these links work. Huh. Bummer. It's a new thing to fix. I've had that happen to a few different things where I'll put up a link or I'll put something out and it's like nobody says anything. This is what happens when you only have 1 or 2 people who follow. They probably don't even click the link. They don't care. So yeah, that's good to know. Something to fix. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. I got a couple Streamlabs things I got to look at tomorrow. That's when I'm going to start setting up my store, my ad for these LED loaded mage cages. But I gotta go. I really do, man. You take it easy, Savinicus. I'll talk to you later. If you happen to be around, I'm sure I'll be streaming some point again soon. Bye.